Hello, and welcome to our latest episode of Relatable Catholic.
Hello to all our listeners.
Hey,
It's Jacob.
it's me.
Mr. Till is back. I think I maybe sort of kind of have the audio figured out.
We hope so.
I'm sure it sounds great.
We're sorry, listeners, for all the technical difficulties, but Katie's buying everything that she possibly can to get this figured out.
I've given Jacob strict instructions not to move.
Don't touch the microphone.
Because his is a very
Sensitive.
sensitive microphone. So,
What's the coolest one? Because it lights up.
yeah. So, that's exciting.
Yep.
So, yeah. So, here we are.
We've survived Heritage Days.
Heritage Days. Okay. We need to hear all about what you thought of your first Heritage Days in Bellevue.
It was good.
Good.
It was good.
All he has is good.
It was, so my whole family was in town.
How many people?
So 16 total people, counting myself.
And you're
Staying
hosting
with
them
you.
all at your
Everybody
house.
stayed at my house, and they had a blast. And I think this will be a tradition, or at least there'll be like a few more days next year of like them all coming and staying here. Because my sister Christy, she was like, "This is amazing. This is way better than a hotel. Like, this is great." So
Yeah.
And you got the space.
Yeah.
got the
Might
space.
as well.
It was so fun to be all together.
Yeah, it
It's
was.
so fun to give up your silence, for everybody else.
Well, and that is a tough thing for me. Like I didn't feel like during those days I don't get like good prayer time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that's like, but I can work on that. I can do better, plan better in some areas. But then too, like, it just wasn't probably what it would have been if I was all by myself. Right? Like,
Yes. Yeah. I get it.
When you're hosting people,
Yeah.
you just,
I did not go into watch the band. I didn't go into the fence.
The refreshment garden.
The refreshment garden.
Refreshment garden.
A single time.
It was really refreshing.
And you guys know me. I like my refreshments. And I didn't even go in there
and it
once.
was hot.
It was hot.
And it was hot. So it was different, right? So like, I don't know if I truly experienced it the way that, that maybe that I could have, or maybe the way everybody thinks. But I was working too. Like on Saturday I had mass. So that limited my ability to be present in here. And so next year I have to plan that a little better. I don't have to.
Well, and it's on a different day next year. It's on the actual 3rd and 4th. So
Actually, third, fourth, but the
Which
fourth
I think
will be
so
on a
Friday,
Saturday.
Saturday.
So I have to make sure that I don't have the
5:30
Saturday.
mass.
Yeah, the 5:30 mass.
The 4 o'clock
4
mass, I
o'clock.
think, is fine.
Yeah, I mean, maybe I did confessions. I don't know.
Yeah.
But,
yeah. I forgot that you had to do confessions, too.
So I had confessions.
Yeah.
Then I went up to St. Catherine's, had mass, and then my key fob battery just decided to die, so I'm stuck in St. Catherine's.
No.
Yeah, so I called my dad and say, hey. Actually, I called my sister Christy. I called my dad, my sister Sarah. My sister Christy finally answered. I said, "Okay, here's where my spare set of keys are in my room. Go get them, and grab a battery too." And because I had extra fob batteries, so Dad came up with both, saved the day. But it still took me like extra half hour to get back. So anyway, so I had fun. Probably would have had more fun under different circumstances.
Okay. Wow.
I enjoyed the parade. I enjoyed hanging out with people at the parade. It wasn't as long or crazy as I thought it was going to be.
Did you think there were more or less tractors than you thought there were
There
going to
was
be?
Somebody
less.
counted. How many do you think there were?
I would say there was 20.
66.
Wow.
So many tractors.
I was talking a lot.
Yeah. Well, they did a better job of splitting them up this year, so they really tricked
What
you.
area did you watch the parade in?
I
What
watched
part
it
of town?
the very end of the
Oh,
of
at the
route.
Kiefer household.
Yes.
I should have known.
Yeah. Of course. I ate during the parade. I always find that a good peaceful time to eat.
All right.
So, if you had to pick your favorite part,
Favorite part? Oh, I don't know.
Probably just having your family with you, right?
Probably, yeah.
That's exactly what I said was so exciting about the Heritage Days.
Everybody's family's
Everybody's
coming.
family's back.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people come to Bellevue for that one weekend.
And actually, they said this year was a lot less than usual. So
Why was that?
I think they said because after when they do it after the 4th, because technically it was on the 5th, that then less people show up. And it did rain on.
It was hot. It did
Jacob,
It
your
was
band,
hot.
did you have to stop your band?
We only stopped for like 5 or 10 minutes early so we could get our stuff picked up before the rain
Yeah.
started coming down. So
Yeah.
it worked out good.
I think the band, your band, was my dad's favorite part of Heritage Days.
New groupie.
Yep, he really enjoyed that.
I saw him there with his lawn chair.
His lawn chair. My dad, did you hear
Cracked
my
me
dad
up.
when he got here for fireworks? Like, do you sew that chair to your shirt?
Hey,
Yeah.
always got a place to sit then.
People just wanted to be prepared.
Yeah, but it was very hot. And you were making a lot of people uncomfortable because you were too clothed.
And you were wearing black.
You were wearing too
Black,
much clothes.
Long sleeves.
Yes, so I did get you something, but you did already guess what it was. But it was kind of expensive, so if it doesn't fit, we're taking it back.
Like Katie knows so she can return it.
Yeah. And I already know you have a pair of shorts to go with it.
Because you were going to get those too, but
But you said you already had them.
okay.
Is this one from Poland?
No, I don't think so. It's from Amazon.
Amazon clergy polo shirt.
We'll just
short
open it all the
sleeve.
way up.
We're going to have to post a picture of this.
Well, I want to have a fashion show, a father fashion show. You just seemed so uncomfortable that day, and it made me feel uncomfortable. Let me feel
Oh, it's from the
material.
The brand Black and Purple, which I
Are you familiar with?
Are you
not
familiar?
familiar
It's the Amazon Basics clerical brand.
we knew eventually they'd have one.
Hey, got to reach all audiences.
No, I got a big size because I didn't want it to be.
Sometimes the Polish ones they run.
Yeah,
run
that's
a
what we
Narrow.
talked about.
little narrow.
Wow, you're gonna look fantastic in that.
And
All right.
cool.
With
gonna
some
give it a
shorts.
In more ways than one.
Were you like dying?
I was pretty much dying. Taking a picture right now. Live on the podcast picture.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Okay.
Now, what are the chances you're actually gonna wear it?
I'll wear it. I'll try. I'll give it a shot.
You made me feel so uncomfortable because you were like, it was. I don't know how to explain how hot it was.
It was hot.
It was like there was no breeze. It was in the hundreds.
We were
at
watching the
least.
parade up
Maybe
by the park,
thousands.
and tents were blowing over.
Yeah, our tents blew over.
So there was a breeze.
Oh, that wasn't until later.
Oh. Well, this was literally during the parade.
Well, thank you. I'm sorry I made.
Your sister Sarah was also like very passionate about getting to wear a different outfit.
Was she?
As well? Yes.
Well, next
Look at-
year.
but you
I'm
survived.
ready.
Next year, there's a lot of summer left. It's just gonna get hotter.
That's true. That's a good point. All right. Well,
Like on Sunday, you might want to dress with less clothes.
oh, Sunday for the.
The tractor pull.
The tractor pull.
Can you imagine you up on the tractor wearing a short sleeve cleric?
I was thinking about ripping off my sleeves for that one.
That would be
Taking a
fun.
old shirt and
Yeah.
cutting them off.
Like a farmer would.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You got boots?
I do have black cowboy boots.
You have to wear
Are you
them.
gonna wear shorts?
I wasn't going to, but I guess I could. Well, if I wear the polo, I feel like I have to wear the shorts. But
Are they just black shorts?
But if you're
You
gonna
just
do
have black
the
shorts?
cutoff, I give permission to just like do not that very nice shirt.
Don't
because
cut off
it-
the-
don't cut
your
off that
polo you just
one.
gave me.
That would be a little upset.
okay. So, what do you think is the best look for this tractor? Have you, either of you been to the tractor pull? This is only the
No.
second annual.
Last year was so hot.
I can't
I think
say
we were
I've
in excessive heat warning.
ever been to a tractor pull.
I've been to a tractor pull.
I went to a
but
tractor pull
not
once to sing the national anthem, but I'm pretty sure I left right after that.
loud. That's all I know. Loud. But maybe it's not like a real tractor
So where's
pull.
this taking place at?
St. Denis, kind of down by the creek, behind Calmus's, behind B&G, behind B&G
Okay.
East Right. Mm-hmm.
And it's a fundraiser.
Is a fundraiser with the Lutheran Church. So we're
Okay.
trying to raise money. The Catholic Church trying to raise money for renovations for painting the church, and the Lutheran Church is trying to raise money for I don't know what, but we split the
Something awesome.
we split the proceeds. It's very ecumenical. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And you're gonna
I'm gonna drive a tractor that I've
Is
not driven
pulling
before.
something.
It's pulling some
Something
sort
heavy.
of a sled. Yeah. So I did go out on the old Ford at my dad's house just to practice
Have you
a little bit
practiced?
yesterday. You know, it's not exactly the same tractor, but I did just drive it around the yard just to.
Make sure
Just
you
some
still
figure
got
eights.
it.
Just figure eights around the yard.
I get up into fourth gear and going through the yard, and I was like, oh, I think I need to slow down because this thing is flying. So I was impressed on the speed of that little 8N. So I'm not gonna go that fast at this tractor pull. I don't think
Do you
that's
think you're gonna pop a wheelie? Probably. They all pop a wheelie, don't they?
I don't know. Do they?
I
don't
think
know.
so.
I have not prepared for that.
You know, something riveting that I get to do every year at the Iowa State Fair is go to the
Kitty tractor pull?
mini tractor pull, where it's like remote control cars and trucks pulling things.
Why do you do that every year?
Because my brother used to love it growing up, and now everybody thinks that Keegan needs to go see it. So,
You know when you see those memes of like, what is there to do in Iowa?
yeah, there's that. You know what else they have?
Now I'm starting to be like, I wonder why, like, people probably are curious what it is like to live in Iowa, and here we are,
You know,
sitting around a
sometimes,
table
like,
talking about tractor pulls
to
and
go
car tractor pulls.
to the grocery bag contest. Have you ever been to the grocery bagging contest?
I've never been to the state fair.
Jacob,
You going with me this year?
come on.
I've never been.
You can stay in our camper.
You can do that, or you can go with the group of priests and stay
We'll see.
at the UPA household.
Lauren will be pretty pregnant then.
Yeah.
We can get her a wheelchair or something.
Anyway, I've never been to the state fair ever.
You gotta go.
It is one of a kind. It's worth it.
It is.
Well, we'll see if I make it out.
Okay.
All right. Well, shall we dive into the topic for today? I don't know how we'll transition to.
Yes, Katie, what would you like to talk about today?
Today we are going to, I think, probably just start our conversation on Eucharistic miracles.
Okay.
It's kind of a serious topic for a pretty silly beginning, but
That's kind of how we do it.
yeah.
It's how we roll.
That's how we roll.
Yeah. So, Eucharistic miracles have been happening for as long as the Eucharist has been around. The Eucharist itself is a miracle.
Yeah, it's a miracle at every Mass. But sometimes there are extraordinary things that happen that we would classify as Eucharistic miracles, such as healing or multiplication or preservation. There's been some miracles where hosts have been preserved for hundreds of years. And
Then there's the ones with like the blood,
yes,
Mm-hmm.
those are
the cool ones.
the really cool ones. So I don't know if we want to focus specifically on those.
Maybe start with the blood ones,
The blood ones.
since they're the cool ones. Well, they're all cool, but these are like scientific proof that it is Jesus.
Yeah, I mean, as about as much as you can get, right? So, first of all, there's been different scenarios, different reasons why a Eucharist would start to bleed, why a host would start to bleed. Some people have not like priests have not believed that it was true, and then it just started bleeding. So that happened in Lanciano, Italy. There's been several occasions where people steal them and they start to bleed while they're being stolen. I've seen one of those. That was in Santarém, Portugal. That was pretty amazing. Then there's people that just maltreat the hosts, or they do different things like stab them, and they start to bleed. It's like, well, this is a sign that Jesus is actually present here. Because most of the times we don't see that kind of thing. It's just we just have to believe with faith. And in these instances, God works a supernatural kind of miracle, and then we can test those. So like Lanciano, that happened in the 8th century, and the host is still available, and it's been like the church there, the bishop there has allowed them to come and test it.
Should we talk about exactly what happened? If we're gonna go, so the Lanciano.
So you were saying, like, should we talk about like what happened specifically like in Lanciano as like an example?
Yes.
So Lanciano, the priest, was at the altar, and he was not believing that it was the Eucharist, and he was holding it up, and all of a sudden it started to bleed in his hands onto the altar. At the same time, the wine, the blood, and the precious blood in the chalice, like congealed and into little goblets and of blood as well. So that was kind of how that happened, and that was about the year 700, somewhere in there.
And was like everybody in the congregation able to see this as well, or was it like just revealed to the priest? Because like Marian apparitions, like those appear sometimes just to specific people, and like I think of like Fatima, like just the children could see Mary, but not everybody could. So like this Eucharistic miracle, like if we were sitting in that congregation, would we have been able to see that too?
I believe yes. I believe everybody saw it. I believe it was like okay, mass is over. Like this is we're go me. So we're done. We're done here. So yeah, everybody can see these. We can all see them too. So like we can go to Lanciano today and still see this host.
So
and see
they
these
like
goblets.
preserved it. So they put it. Where did they put it then afterwards? In a dish.
They put it so often it's in a dish or in glass or gold or some sort of a crystal
kind
case.
of like a monstrance.
Yeah,
monstrance in a way.
A crystal like case like formed around this one in Santarém. It just like did it. It was like this. Like a girl had a wife had stolen a host. She was going to give it to some sort of I don't know, like I don't want to say witch, but that wasn't probably not the right word, but someone to cast a spell on her husband, and because she was mad at him for doing whatever he did, and she took it home and put it and it was bleeding. She put it in a chest, and that chest overnight started to glow. And they opened up, her and her husband opened up the chest, and it was, this host was glowing. So she confessed what she had done and what she had planned to do. He told her sorry. They reconciled the marriage, and then they took the host to the priest, and it had encased itself in a crystal at that time, and you can go see it.
See that one too.
And you can get up like right up close to it in that church. There's like a high altar, so it's in the high altar, but there's stairs built up the back of the high altar where you can go up and see.
That's so cool.
Right.
There's some
there.
saints like that in churches.
Yeah, there is.
I don't remember which one we saw.
But it was awesome.
Was it in Paris?
It was in Paris.
Saint Vincent de Paul.
Yes, Saint Vincent de Paul. He's like up above the altar.
Yeah, I saw that.
That's my first time experiencing an incorrupt saint.
Yeah.
Wild.
And I'm not sure that he's completely incorrupt, but St. Catherine Labouré, which is very close,
is also there.
I think she's like fully incorrupt. I think St. Vincent's a little bit decayed, and there's some wax going on there. But but
what does incorrupt mean if people don't know that?
So the body, back to our funeral. After somebody dies, we were all at the same funeral today. I was obviously celebrating it. Jacob was playing it. Katie was in the crowd praying it.
Yes.
Praying for the people, the deceased, and Leo. And so bodies, under normal circumstances, they start to decay pretty quickly after the death. And with an incorrupt saint, the body doesn't decay. And we believe that shows the person's holiness, the person's closeness to God, and a lot of them are saints. So another extra supernatural, extraordinary kind of thing.
Yeah.
So back to Eucharistic miracles. So you can see those. You would see it. It's not like an apparition where like only certain people see it. Like everybody sees these miracles happen, which is.
So then they didn't test that one right away, did they? They waited.
I mean, this was before they had that kind of testing
Right.
ability, right? But as we've grown in our ability to test, for different things, we've started to go, why don't we do this? Why don't we test for blood type and DNA? Now we can test for DNA. We can do like red and white blood cell counts, look at the tissue type. We can even look at like the minerals that are in the blood. So they can often tell certain things about someone, or the part of the world that they lived in based on the minerals that they have consumed. So they can tell a lot of detail about this that they could have done back in the year 700. They just saw this, this host turn into blood, and like, well, that's, So they've been doing those things, and they find that, when they test these, it's often heart tissue.
And don't they even, some of them, I've heard that like it's like heart tissue that's been like beaten.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Or like has undergone like severe like stress or excruciating pain.
That's exactly right. They can tell that because of the amount of white blood cells there. And what's kind of crazy is, I guess, white blood cells, they don't usually stay. They're not usually in the heart, for one thing, but then they usually go out to the trauma. The white blood cells do, but like in this case where there was so much trauma and the heart was, the hurt too. There's that suffering that the white blood cells stayed there, but then the white blood cells, those leukocytes, they usually disappear within like 4 minutes. And like if they were kept in water, they'd disappear in 4 minutes. But here they test these, and they're available years and years and years after it happens. So that's really shocking to scientists as well. These tests are often done blind or double blind, where people don't know where they came from. They just send them to a lab and say, tell us about this blood. Tell us about this. And
cool.
They do.
And then they compare them, right? Like, it's not just, like, they take one sample from one miracle and one sample from a different miracle.
Yeah.
And then they're the same, right? It's
Yeah.
always the same results.
Yeah.
So does Jesus have a blood type?
It's type AB universal. Doesn't that
Shocker.
make sense? Yeah, shocker.
Shocker.
There's a really great book out there.
So that's how he became the universal church, because Jesus had an AB positive blood type.
There you go.
No, just kidding. That was a joke, everybody.
There's a great book called A Cardiologist Examines Jesus that takes like 3 of these and puts them kind of side by side at some level, and goes through the different. Goes through that Lanciano one. It goes through Buenos Aires, which happened in the early 90s, and then Tixla, Mexico, which happened in 2006. Okay. So it takes those 3 and really puts them together, and blood AB. It's DNA. The DNA that they find is of human origin, but it's not like complete. I think it's only half a strand.
Whoa.
Which kind of tracks, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I was going to say like part God, part human, but kind of fully God, fully human. So that doesn't quite match, but
yeah,
but it's a mystery. Like that's where faith comes in with all of this, right? That this is our faith, and there's these scientific examples, but it's always just like an aid to like strengthen our belief, I feel like.
Yeah. Like just gives us that little bit of a boost, right? Because it is hard for us to look at this bread, this wine, and say, that's really the body and blood of Jesus.
Who lived 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we have to kind of believe that on faith. And then it seems to me that the curtain is pulled back in some instances. And this is one of those where the curtain is pulled back, where you can see, no, truly, this is the true presence. Like Jesus is truly present here scientifically. Like we're such a scientific kind of minded people anymore. This is really helpful.
We want evidence.
We do.
We want answers.
Evidence and answers. And there's probably still ways to say this doesn't mean anything, and this doesn't count. Like unless I see the Eucharistic miracle happen and can follow it for the entire time, I'm not going to believe it. Well, there's just no way to do that. It's just not going to, there's probably no way to actually track the whole process. We still even have to have a little bit of faith that these people were doing what they said they were doing with all these different tests of the hosts that turned into blood. Started to bleed. Pretty cool.
It's cool.
So cool. And I think it's not well known. I think Eucharistic miracles are not well known.
I didn't probably learn about them until 2000 I was probably 6 years old.
I think I was in high school, when I heard about it the first time.
Yeah, I think I was out of high school when I heard about it the first time.
So for me, I wanted to believe that the Eucharist was truly Jesus present, but this was okay, now there's some more substantial evidence for me to actually believe this. And even though I can't see it every week, I can still believe it on this particular evidence. So yeah, it really strengthened my faith and took me from go to Mass on Sunday to I should go to Mass every day. Because if Jesus is truly present here, I want to be there. I want to receive. Yeah, I want to receive.
Yeah. And once you realize that it's truly Jesus too, I feel like you take it more seriously. The Eucharistic itself, and when receiving, you really realize how special it is that we get to do that. And we're the only religion that has that, right?
Yeah, the only Christian denomination that really believes that that it's Jesus truly present. So yeah, it's a huge gift, right? It's a huge gift that Jesus, he says, I will be with you always until the end of the age.
Until the end of the age.
Right? So how does he going to do that? Well, this is...
He's doing it.
He's doing it.
He's literally doing it. Each and every day.
Yeah.
All around the world.
Yeah. From the rise of the sun to its setting, pure sacrifice be offered to his name. That's the prophecy.
And it's there's always a Mass kind of being said somewhere throughout the world, probably, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of it's 5 o'clock somewhere.
But it's Mass time somewhere. It's consecration time somewhere.
That should be a T-shirt.
Yeah. Guess that actually is a little preview. We are getting T-shirts.
Really?
Yes,
It's consecration time somewhere.
That's not what it says, though. The shirts don't say that. They just say
I was just
Catholic, but
That'll be the next one.
Right, he was
The
just
next
saying,
one.
we were talking about the 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
somewhere thing. So I was just trying to turn it into a song.
yeah, no, that's just you trying to.
It's just me.
It's the music teacher in you.
How's the jingle coming along?
Yeah.
Okay, so
We've had all
Just
summer.
kidding.
Summer's
the summer
almost
is
over.
not almost over. You were just giving Father when he said next summer with the shirts, and you were like, "There's so much summer left. It's gonna get hot."
Well, I meant
you there.
School starting.
Yeah, that doesn't mean the weather is not going to stay hot.
True, but there's still a lot of summer left. Still got a lot to do.
The jingle is probably on the back burner. Is what you're saying.
Maybe that's what I'm saying. Hey, every time in college, every once in a while, I would be like, if the second coming happened right now, I think I'd be okay with it. I'd never have to write a paper, take another final, do this paper right now. It's doing 3 hours. It never happened.
It all worked out.
Yeah.
You mean you're here now on the podcast? It all worked out.
It all worked out.
All your dreams came true.
And all my dreams came true.
So Carlo Acutis has a Eucharistic Miracle website. This was kind of his project right before he died. And you can go see that. It's MIRACOLIU. It's like miracle. It's like in
Miracles,
Italian.
but in Italian.
Yeah.
We'll
I'm sure
put it in the
Katie
show
can
notes.
link
Yeah,
that.
I'll link
.org.
it.
Yeah. Just link it.
Miracles.
Yeah.
But that website has all of the Eucharistic miracles, and then I think you can click on them, and then it'll take you to
Tell you more information about
it.
each.
You click on like different regions of the world.
Yeah.
And then you can see
What Eucharistic miracles took place there.
Yeah, it's really cool. Yeah, and I'll link. I think I've linked it before. The video that explains the Buenos Aires miracle. So
yeah, it's pretty.
super cool.
I think that was the first one I saw. Like heard
Yeah,
about it.
mine too. Yeah,
The Buenos Aires.
yeah.
I've had a couple of times where. So what happens if you have a host and someone puts it in their mouth and then they spit it out? Which it does happen sometimes, especially like nursing homes, for instance. You put it in water, and then you let it dissolve, and then eventually it's no longer the Eucharist, no longer a host. But a couple times they've actually turned red, and one time was actually at the installation mass of the Archbishop, and it happened, and
At your former parish,
in my
Nativity.
former parish, and I put it in water like I was supposed to. I found him and put him in water, and then they turned red, and people were convinced that it was a Eucharistic miracle. I wasn't, because there's also like a red mold spore that does that sometimes, and I kind of regret like not buying a microscope to test it. I'll do that next time this happens. Although it has happened once here in Bellevue already too, and I didn't do anything with that one either. So, if you know someone with a microscope, it's really to help me out next time. Put
Maybe
you on
Jesus is
call.
trying to tell you something.
He's
I don't
like
know.
slapping you across the face with it, and you're like, "Oh, must not be."
It must just be red blood mold or red bread mold. I don't know.
Very cool, though.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's
Maybe we'll keep better track of it next time.
like I said. I just gotta have.
I think you should do an experiment.
Yeah, I should have.
We talked about that.
Right.
Just putting an unconsecrated host in water and see what happens. If it
See if it gets
dissolves,
the bread mold.
or if it gets the red bread mold, which is very hard to say.
I know, right?
Red bread mold.
If it doesn't,
Everybody say that
then
5
I'm
times
gonna
fast.
feel even worse about myself.
Well, you have a picture, right?
I do have pictures. Yeah.
So maybe the third time's the charm.
Hey,
God's just like
sometimes it happens.
Father, Son, Holy Spirit. There we go. The third one.
we want one of these in Bellevue, Iowa. I'm like,
Yeah, wouldn't that be so cool?
yeah. So the bottom line, folks, is
I believe in miracles. That's the bottom line.
yeah, we do, right?
Yeah.
We do.
We do believe in miracles, and there's one every mass, and just occasionally we can see fully, and it's pretty amazing. But there's more credit to us when we believe just with the eyes of faith. So is it time?
Yes.
Can you relate?
Do you want me to go first?
It doesn't matter.
I can go. My can you relate is, when you're like scrolling Facebook and then you want to look at like somebody's professional pictures or something, and then you click on it and all of a sudden you're sending
Like the
a
automatic
message.
message.
Like, can't I just like look in peace? Like, why do you have to like bring that message up?
Can't I just creep in peace?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, let us creep in peace. And that's why can you relate?
I didn't know that happened.
Yes.
Yeah, it
like
does.
with business pages.
Yeah.
It'll be like, how can we help you? Like it takes
Yeah.
you into like an automatic message from them.
Right. And that is an option for Relatable Catholic, and you're welcome, everyone.
Katie did
I
not
do
enable
not
that.
add that button. You're welcome. Because I want everybody to be able to creep in peace.
I'm disconnected enough from Facebook that I don't
That's
know
good.
these things.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's healthy.
Mm-hmm.
My can you relate is, have you ever gone to the Hy-Vee Chinese buffet and probably ate more than you should have and got a fortune cookie after it that says, work on improving your exercise routine? That is not a fortune. That is just a critique. And I was
Let
offended.
us creep in peace. Let us eat in peace.
That's right. And now, Father, what would you like to do in peace?
Go in peace.
Just pray in peace. That's. I miss Hai Chai.
It's good.
I haven't had Hai
love
Chai.
Hai Chai.
It's good.
In forever.
What's your go-to Chinese order?
I really like.
You like something spicy, probably.
Actually, no. I like
No?
Happy Family. Is kind of like my favorite. It's
What
got-
is
What
that?
is a happy family?
That sounds like the adult
Besides
version of
us
a
here at
Happy
this
Meal.
table.
That seems like a catering platter from McDonald's. You get the Happy Meal, then you get the Happy,
Happy Family.
Family.
The Happy Family is beef, chicken, and shrimp. Maybe pork in there too. I don't know. And then it's got just like vegetables. And
So
Meat
you're telling me
lovers.
it's the Hy-Vee, the Chinese version of Meat Lovers Pizza?
and now it makes sense why I like that so
Yes.
much. Yeah, that's my go-to.
Do you prefer crab ragoons or egg rolls?
Egg rolls.
I like
I'll
them
eat crab
both.
rangoons though.
I love crab
I like 'em
ragoons.
both.
If I can have both. Yeah.
Now I'm hungry for
So good.
happy Chinese.
My candy relay is food related. Ironically, just thinking about today, we sat down for the standard meal at the funeral, which is chicken and ham.
Chicken on a bone.
Sometimes you get chicken and roast beef, but usually it's fried chicken. And I kind of wanted to be polite and eat chicken with a fork on a bone, but I just couldn't do it. And so
Just
after
can't do it.
maybe a minute, I just gave up and just
Started gnawing.
started on the chicken wing. So if you can relate to that, but I know
Jacob can.
I can.
He
I
did
had a
it.
great experience with the chicken
I was
today on a
sitting
bone.
very close to Jacob. He was doing it.
I was eating it with my hands.
Mm-hmm.
So
process
eat in
improvement.
peace, sleep in peace, pray in peace.
It's all about the peace.
Speaking of chicken on the bone,
The chicken barbecue's coming up.
it is
Yeah.
July 20th in Springbrook. Saints Peter and Paul. That's a big parish festival. But even sooner than that, today, listeners, if you're listening the day that this comes out, the plan after our family holy hour, Wednesday family holy hour, is to have smoked chicken on the bone.
Are you smoking it?
I'm gonna smoke it as long as my smoker will work. I'm gonna smoke it. So it should be
Wow.
good. All are welcome to come and pray, and then.
And if you don't like
stay and
chicken
eat.
on the bone,
I've got popsicles.
bring your own chicken.
you can have popsicle from Katie.
There you go. I've got 3 different kinds of popsicles. I'm ready.
Woo.
So
Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Oh boy.
there you go. Family
It's the
whole
summer.
hour. 6 to 7 p.m. St. Joseph Church.
All right.
And then the tractor pulls on
And
Sunday.
tractor pulls on Sunday.
Chicken
so
barbecues the week after.
Get your
I mean,
cutoffs ready.
Yep. Gonna
Get
be
your
great.
short sleeve clerical shirts out.
Clerical shirts out.
Well, this is a really great episode. I hope everybody enjoyed it as much as we did recording it.
Yes.
See.
As always, we are praying for you.
And may God bless you all.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye now.